In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5D Earth timeline split that is happening right now, what to expect from these years of about 2019 to 2022, what the theme is, and what you can do about it so that you move through it in a very powerful way. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of the 5D Earth split, the timeline split that's happening right now on the planet, what this really means, a metaphor for it, and then what area, what phase we are in of it. So the first thing I thought I would do is show you my beautiful drawing. You guys like this? Look how good it is. Just kidding. Let me show you though. Let me show you something. And what I want to show you is that there are these different, think about it like there's Earth right here. By the way, look how big these markers are. It makes it so much easier to see. So this is Earth with like continents and stuff. Oh yeah, I don't know if that's Florida. I don't know what the heck that is. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, okay. So that's the Earth. Now, what's happening right now is imagine that there's these different how do you say that word? Trajectories that the Earth can go on. There's different timelines the Earth can go on. These different timelines will depend upon the collective consciousness of the Earth. The collective consciousness, think of it like this energy field around the Earth, and we are a part of the collective consciousness, but the general basis, overarching energy of the collective consciousness determines which parallel reality timeline we go on. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's that these all overlay. Let's say that we have a 3D. So there's a 5D split happening, right? 4D. These are just words. I mean, these are just terms that we give meaning. But when we talk about these 3D, 4D, 5D, what you'll see is we have these different terms. Let me try to move this thing out. I don't want. Okay. So 5D, 4D, 3D, 4D, 5D. The difference: 3D. Think of it as very heavy. Think of 3D as something that's very solid, very heavy. There's a lot of duality. There's good, bad, light, dark. 3D is the level of consciousness that we have been on as a planet for a very long time. And what happens is right now we are transitioning into a 4D level of consciousness. 4D level of consciousness is more about vibration. It's more about, life becomes more flexible, time becomes more malleable, and there's still a duality of good and bad. There can still be negative and positive forces. However, it's from a different place. It's more about vibration, and there's more awareness in that realm of perception. Now 5D, when we talk about 5D right here, 5D is more about unity consciousness, understanding that we're all connected. Now, the 5D Earth split, and in general there's these splits going on, and these splits, these parallel timelines, here's the thing. The people on the planet, there are some people that are in a 3D level of consciousness, and imagine them like goggles. They are perceiving of a 3D world everywhere they look. They're thinking about and watching the news, and then experiencing the negativity in the world. And then they're going out into the world and they have these beliefs, and they're consistently experiencing reality through 3D goggles. Now, what happens is as they raise their vibration, or they go from a 3D level of consciousness to a 4D level of consciousness, what happens is then they perceive reality for the 4D level of consciousness, which is a much higher vibration, which has to do more with understanding energy, which has to do with allowing things to become more flexible. They then have these goggles on and they see reality, they meet other people, they meet other situations in their life that reflect back a 4D level of consciousness. Now a 5D level of consciousness is that of more unity level of consciousness, and once again, goggles, you will see more and more reasons to feel love. They all exist at the same moment right now. There are some of us in 3D, some of us in 4D, some of us in 5D. Some of us may shift between these throughout our days or our weeks. Some of us may shift. You might have times when you're in meditation, you're in 5D. You might have time your boss says something to you, your boss or your someone in your family gets on you for something, then you feel like you're back in 3D. The more in 3D, you're very identified with the ego. As you move up there becomes less and less attachment to the ego. It becomes a little bit of a different type relationship. However, it's about understanding that they overlay themselves. So right now, we don't have to try to wait till 2035 and then we can be in a 5D level of consciousness or a 4. These are just terms. Also, we're giving these terms. The 4D, 3D, it's what we use to relate to these different vibrational states of consciousness. We can exist in them right now by raising our vibration. And it's happening at a certain level anyways in our collective consciousness and within us. And the way that if you guys know Bashar, the way that he explains it is he says, imagine these timelines like train tracks. Imagine them like train tracks. Now what's happening is back in like 2012 he gave this analogy. He says as time goes on, there's these different tracks and they're all next to each other. They're very close together. But what happens is as time goes on, 2016, 2017, you realize you have to go faster and faster to keep up with these trains. Now what happens is as time goes on, 2016, maybe you're going through like a brisk walk. 2017, you're starting to jog. 2018, you're starting to run. 2019, you're starting to sprint very fast. And as time goes on, they're splitting apart. So then it becomes very obvious which are 3D, 4D, 5D, because they will look so far away, so hard to relate to those levels of consciousness. So the idea is get on the train track you prefer to be on now, because as time goes on, it will be more and more disparity between those tracks. Now, that's a powerful analogy, and it just means get on the path that you want to be on. Are you doing what you're passionate about? Are you going for your passion? Because if not, now is the time to do it. I see so many people I talk to. I was talking to someone in the gym just a couple days ago, and he's asking me what I do, and I was telling him about what I do on YouTube and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, he's like a really smart computer programmer guy. He's like, yeah, I want to get and start doing my own thing. I don't want to be consulting for companies anymore and all this stuff. He's like, I'm not that passionate about it. I'm just good at it. There's so many people I meet. They want to do their passion. They want to find out what they're passionate about. They don't want to just be a part of the old 3D system of doing a job you hate. So people are starting to really gain their power back. Now, here's the thing and the theme of 2019 to 2022 that I have noticed. And it's going to continue to happen. And it's what I've noticed in my own life and also in a lot of other people's lives. It seems to be a consistent theme. From about 2016 to 2022, which, right now, 2019, the theme is, I was opening up, I had to put my Face ID open to open up my iPad because I have a couple things written down. The theme is cleansing and purging. So you may notice that in society, the current political system we have has a lot of polarity, has a lot of people getting very triggered about things. The old systems are going to continue to break down. It's a part of the process. The old systems have to break down. And what you may notice in your own life is that certain systems in your own life start to break down. What's not working. What's not of a 5D level consciousness or a 4D level of consciousness. The old paradigms. If there's control dynamics in your family, you may find those getting exposed and dealt with. If there's somebody that's burdening your energy, or you feel a lot of negativity from people, you may be cleansing that and allowed to start taking your power back. If there are certain themes or childhood memories of things that have happened, you may find that those come to your awareness so that you can let them go. Memories you completely forgot about. This cleansing is going on right now, and it's going on now, and it's also going on now within the collective consciousness of each individual country, the planet. We're becoming aware of this, and we have the ability to let it go and to process it. But right now, it's a level of purging. When you talk about plant medicine and purging, you notice you ever hear people talk about like Aya doing plant medicine. And what happens is there's buckets, and what happens is this stuff goes into their body, and it does something with their frequency. Subconscious memories come up, things happen, and then they puke, they burp, they yawn. All of these different things are different levels of what's called purging. It's releasing energy. And right now on the planet, we're doing that completely just by being. We're purging old systems, purging old realities. I know people that were addicted to certain things and they're getting rid of it. Doesn't resonate anymore. It's a cleansing period, cleansing of vibration, cleansing of a detox. I notice a lot of people eating healthier, being more mindful of what they eat. It's a time of cleansing because 2022 to 2030, it's going to be a very quick, rapid change. I think technology is going to speed up very much, virtual reality. There's going to be things that we can't even imagine now. But right now it's about getting rid of what isn't working so that we can start to be in the vibration of what can work. So the theme is letting go. But the one thing that I also want to mention to you is don't wait. Don't wait to make change. Don't wait to be yourself. Don't wait to do what you're passionate about for a living. Just do it now. Because the more you wait, the more you're creating this gap, and this waiting is a vibration in of itself. There's a vibration of waiting. The more you're waiting, the more you're not doing what you love. And there's a lot of people on the planet that when we talk about these different, because part of these different earth splits as well, I thought I got a paper cut. A lot of these earth splits as well may have to do with disclosure. Us becoming aware that there's been this ET connection that we've had to the planet for a very long time. If you haven't heard me talk about that before, it's something that's very, if you've watched a show like Cosmic Disclosure, if you watch these people that have had very high level, talk about William Tompkins, or some people that have had a really high level of clearance in the army or in the military talking about this kind of stuff. And I know someone in my own life who has been a part of a certain organization that said 100% the government knows about this. It is just the way it is. So it's something that's real, and the more people become aware of it, the more it breaks apart our reality of the way that we've been going about, just kind of like in the autopilot mind, believing what we're told on the news, thinking that's the real reality. That's the reality that keeps people locked into the autopilot mind, that keeps people in lower vibrational states of consciousness. Right now on the planet, it's about waking up and cleansing our vibration. Cleansing our vibration. And if things come up, know that they're coming up for a reason. I notice it in my own life. I see things coming up that aren't working. Perspectives that aren't working. Being angry at different people. Things that aren't working. And what I'm given the opportunity to do is to change that. To change my attitude. Change how we relate to it. And by doing that, that's when you start to raise your frequency. But you have to let go. Imagine something is raising your frequency, and then it's, they say, Bashar says, this is kind of a cool analogy. Bashar says that if you were to meet a higher vibrational being, like an ET being, he says what would happen is they're of such a high vibration that as you were walking up to them, it would bring up within you so much of what hasn't been processed, because they're such a high vibrational integrated being that as you walk up, you would feel that energy and it would bring up within you everything that wasn't working, and you'd have to deal with it right there. But you may be so fearful of it that you may think it's them making you feel negative emotion, when it's really just the stuff that you haven't dealt with. So right now what's happening on the planet is we are going through this cleansing so that one day we can have an experience like that. I don't know when it'll be. I don't know if it'll be 2025, 2033, 2004. I don't know. But I do know that we have to let that go in order to be in the vibrational resonance of them. Now, something else that a lot of people in the community of disclosure would talk about is something called the event. The event. The event. However, remember, the vibration of waiting is a vibration in of itself. The key is knowing we can choose how we prefer to be right now. It's not very powerful to assume that what's going to happen is someone's going to give us a whole bunch of stuff, or the change is going to come from outside and it's going to tell us, or there's going to be some type of technology that's just given to us. No, it's going to be about us becoming aware of the technology that's already been here. It's us becoming aware of our own power. It's a metaphor. And us knowing it's a metaphor. Maybe, and if it's not, then great. But what I see happen a lot is we wait. The 5D Earth split. Oh, we gotta wait. We're waiting for this ascension. We're waiting for all this stuff. No, it's happening right now. And us embodying what we're passionate about, us taking our power back and doing something with it is where the power is. So, I say that from experience. 2012, when I went through my spiritual awakening, I was going through a time when I was like, oh, hopefully this kind of timeline can happen, and I'm just going to wait. And after a year of waiting, I was like, wait, Maybe there's something I can do about this. Maybe I can help people. Maybe I can share my ideas. And then I started making videos. And then I started, it was a little bit more down the road than that. But the idea is every single one of us has a gift. Every single one of us has the ability to tap into 5D level of consciousness right now. But in order to do so, we must go within and we must make the transformation within ourselves. So something else I have, if you want to go through something, I have it called The Shift Experience. There's a meditation, a live meditation in there, which is group energy, plus I reveal SHIFT, which is the key to shifting your level of consciousness. If you want to check out that training, it's free. It's in the top of the description box below. Other than that, if you want to see more videos like this, let me know. And hit the notification bell so that you can see the daily vids that I do, because I got a lot more good stuff coming. And the way YouTube does it now is you actually have to hit the button to see the daily vids. So other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.